Ready?
I'm supposed to know the interview questions prior to.
Ain't no, it's no interview questions. It's no interview questions. So this is Rick and Oz, Four Quarters Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, man, I guess.
I can't hear you. You can hear me? Let's turn them up. Yeah.
You don't stop. We won't stop. You don't stop. Baby, whenever I'm with you.
Yo, you know what I thought about
What's that?
on the way here?
What's that?
Like some of this music that we were privy to.
Oh, you talking about on your way? You thought about that on your way here when you was late?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because you had a lot of time to think, sitting in traffic. Just saying,
You crazy, man.
I was here.
So that's how you going this week?
Yep. That's how I'm going today, anyway. So what now? You was saying now?
I'm gonna split the screen for this so people can see your crazy ass today.
trying to put my Altoids on my mouth, so my breath won't smell like shit throughout the whole joint. What's so funny?
Was that the kind of week you had where you just
I had a great week.
talk about it?
I had a great week.
Is it good?
I got me some vagina. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my ex or current or whatever the fuck we doing. I don't know. I know we having fun right now. It's getting a little X-rated.
That's a good.
It's a good thing.
So this is the type of song you were singing right here?
Nah. I was singing, give me some vagina. That's what I was singing. That's what I was singing.
For those of the people who don't think that you kind of talk or speak or have a voice sometimes.
Those are people that
wink,
don't know
wink.
me. Those are people that don't know me.
I'm messing with you. Look at she's sweating. Look.
Who is she? Who?
No. We gonna wait. We gonna wait. We gonna set them up. We gotta set them up.
I didn't know we had somebody else in the building.
Yeah, we got somebody else, but we ain't gonna go that far.
Okay.
Hey, let me start this clock. Oh, I started it early.
Oh man, you gotta reset the clock, man. Come on. Man. Ah, damn.
Oh, Eve.
You just fucking up completely today. Man.
Well, you know what?
Late.
Fine. We're just gonna get right to it. Hey, yo, listen.
Let's get right to it, man. Let's hurry up. We ain't got much time, Rick.
So SeanCombs video apology.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was what it was.
Do you think it was too soon, too early, too late?
He had to put out something. What you mean? They put out a tape of him whooping somebody's ass. It was also how he had to say something. I mean, what?
Yo,
What's
why
so
you
funny?
had to say the tape of whooping somebody's
That's what he was doing. He was
Oz.
whooping around. What?
eyes?
He kicked her. You saw it, right?
I seen the tape, but what I'm
Okay.
saying is with the apology.
Well,
What did you think about the apology in its entirety?
I thought he was doing what he needed to do to try to cover himself.
Okay. You think that?
Yeah. Why else would you do? I mean, you already knew. He already knew he whooped her ass before. He had denied it.
Right. Okay. So my thing on it is about the apology. You shouldn't have did it because 2 weeks ago, 2 days before that, you put out a statement saying the truth will be revealed. And then 2 months before that, you put out a statement saying that you didn't even do these things that's been said or alleged, but you paid her. My thing is, I think a lot of the public and a lot of the people that even support SeanCombs, because I'm not calling him P. Diddy or Puff Daddy, whatever he wanted to call himself, I'm calling him SeanCombs from now on.
Why is that?
Because he don't deserve that anymore from me.
Oh.
Because and I'll say this, I looked up to P. Diddy Puffy
Why?
because of his contribution to the culture, to music. You know how I love music. I was just listening to Mary J. Blige, Share My Life.
So you can't. So you feel like you still can't listen to him.
I don't listen to it no more with that sort of like what's the word? Like with that love that I had. Like you know what I'm saying? With how people
So you can't. So
how people would feel like over Michael Jackson.
So you can't separate the two.
No. It's like some people can't separate R. Kelly.
Yeah,
know what I'm
but
saying?
I mean, music and what you do in your personal life is two different things. And that's why I always tell people, like, they don't know people. Like, it's always been weird to me how people look up to, like, celebrities. Like, nobody knows these people like that. You know what I'm saying? You like what they do, and that's cool. But to go as far as be like, oh, this person is great and all of this, like, maybe they're cool in what they do.
Cool.
And I salute them for that. But you don't know them personally and what the things that they're going through. And he could have had an issue back then. He could have a drinking problem.
Well, the Rolling Stones brought that up and said
He could have been right. Well, I didn't know, but could have had a problem. He could have been one of those people who blacks out and don't remember things. Who's to say? I'm not saying that shit is right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, who's to say?
I know, but what I'm saying is, when I say looked up to, I mean, it's sort of like Martin, Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting him on that. I'm just saying in the sense of like music.
I know, but even still with Martin, you looked up to Martin for what? He was a adulteress.
Oh shit!
Huh? This is what I'm saying.
Oh shit! Oh, you gonna get into a bag,
no,
man.
I'm just saying. My point is, what people do and whatever lane that they're in, that they're good at, that's cool. But you don't know people personally. I felt to actually like look up to them, to be like, oh, that's a stand-up guy or a woman or whatever the case may be.
Okay, cool. But you can say that there are things that they do that you like, and that it's sort of
right. And then take that for what it is, though.
Take it for what it is.
Take it for what it is. Right. He's a.
What about the people that be crying over like Michael Jackson and Prince and stuff like that?
Those are the people who get caught into the person. They think that
They think that that's real life.
Yeah, they think that's.
They can't separate the.
They can't separate the two.
Okay. I mean, I'm cool. What I will say about the apology is, he should have come out when he paid her. When he paid her, he should have come out and said, "Hey, listen." The statement that he put out, he should have said that before and said, "Hey, yo, look, I'm in," because he's basically gaslighting and he's basically being a narcissist by putting that statement out. But he could have got ahead of that and said those things and said, "Yo, this is what I was. I'm changing my life." No,
because there was no tape then. He had access to the tape, so there's no way, there's no reason to defend yourself if nobody knows anything. See, I wouldn't have paid her shit personally. That's just me. She would have never got paid. She'd have had to prove everything. That's just how I feel. I wouldn't have felt guilty about nothing that I would have did. That's just me though. I don't think that.
yo,
I didn't think that it was right, but
I blew the air horn for you because you smoking.
well, not anymore.
Why won't you pay? Can't do that anymore.
You can't do that anymore.
Why would you not pay her?
Why would I feel like I need to?
You know you've been beating on her.
Payment makes it okay.
Nah, I did say that it should.
A dollar amount makes an ass whooping okay.
No dollar amount makes an ass whooping.
Okay.
Especially the way he was doing it.
Okay.
And I mean, we seen that. The stuff that she was saying in that script, that what was it called? Whatever it was, the police report.
Right.
That's some foul stuff. So for me, I just feel like he should have come out and said those things first. You know what you did. The reason why I'm saying that is he know what he did.
It wasn't his job to do it because he was the abuser. It was her job to do everything before, in my opinion.
So you think she waited too long to do that and ask for that money? Because you got to remember,
I think
she's 11 years removed from it, and now all of a sudden this is coming out.
Well, it's not all of a sudden. Well, yeah, it's all of a sudden that is coming out, but you know that happens a lot when women are abused.
Ooh,
it takes them a little longer to come out for various reasons. I don't know. I've never been abused, so I don't know.
Okay,
but it usually takes them some time to get away from a situation to realize certain things, and then plus, we don't know Cassie. We don't know her background. We don't know things that she's been through. So, some people put love in the dollar signs, and you know what I mean. He probably whooped her ass, and then he told her, "I love you," and can't live without you, and I don't know. People go through shit, man. So it's difficult to say that she should have came out the same time he whooped her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like most women who get abused need to come out sooner. Only because I feel like people should be in jail.
Okay, so this is great. This is a segue, because We got Canela, who is a subject matter expert. She is State Certified Forensic Interviewer for battered and abused children and adults. Okay, so she's also sat on the board of sat as a board member for domestic violence shelter throughout her previous law enforcement career, spanning over 20 years. Let's give a shout out to Canela.
Yeah.
You like that?
You supposed to press a little button or something to have the crowd go crazy, huh? Yeah.
Look at her. She's sweating. Look, she's sweating.
Now, I just got a quick question. How do y'all know each other?
Oh, there it is. Look at him. He going.
No, I was just asking because I didn't. When you sent me the itinerary for everything, I don't remember our special guest being part of the.
I think she wants to skip
special
that.
guest and a special friend.
Oh, okay, special friend. Okay, all right. Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all do it. I'm gonna take a step back. Special
Okay.
friend.
Not like some of the dialogue that I've been hearing already.
We're gonna let her answer your question. We're gonna let her answer your question basically after this commercial. But before the commercial, I do want to say this: play nice.
What's wrong?
Play
Right.
nice.
What does that mean?
I could just
I
see.
don't even know what that means.
I just have some clarification to some of the comments that maybe
Okay, maybe be nice to the people.
Who's the people?
we're always nice.
Okay,
we
I'll just
don't
make-
know these people personally. You?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
me either.
No.
Yeah. Why do I feel like just because I like a person in that capacity, like I like Nas, now if something comes out about Nas, I'll be freaking devastated, right? You know how I feel about. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like some people are just. I know that they're just people, but like they have certain things that they do. End of the quarter, they have certain things that they do that I like.
I got you.
Okay, cool.
I get that too,
understand.
but I
Let me
think
hold on. Let me get the. Let's pay some bills. All Dreams, sponsored by Hassan El Sadiq, and we're gonna get this second quarter started with Canela. Answer the question.
Well, let me start and
Okay.
reference what you're saying. I think it would be better said to say you like their talent, because I agree with Ozzy over here. We don't know them personally, and we don't know what they do in their personal life. When they are on stage doing what they do as a part of their career, they're performing, whether they're in front of the camera or off the camera, and sometimes. So I agree. I don't really idolize anybody because what we see is what they want us to see.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
You clarify that. So Ozzy, you had stated that you think that the victim should come out right away instead of
I feel like they should.
okay.
I mean, but I know it's reasons why they don't. But I just feel like they should. Yeah.
Okay, and then you can have some expertise on this part, or at least you can shine us a light on why they don't.
Absolutely. You have to understand when a person has been abused in whatever capacity, whether adult, whether children, mentally, psychologically, we tend to suppress things in our brain, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, when trauma things happen to us. And sometimes what we have to realize is that everybody have different coping mechanisms on how they deal with trauma. And so a lot of times when trauma presents itself in your life, at whatever stage you are in your life, and even whatever age you may be in your life, a lot of times, in order to cope, to live a normal life day to day and not want to deal with that trauma to the forefront of your life, whether it's depression, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whatever you're doing to cope and keep it moving, people suppress things. And that's what causes them to refrain from maybe coming out immediately, especially depending on their lifestyle. If they're in the public eye, if they're a public official, if they're well respected in their community, it's so many different factors that you have to consider. So whenever that time frame comes, when that person does decide to come out with that abuse that has happened to them, you kind of have to identify with it and all of the elements and the evidence that they are presenting as it relates to the credibility of the abuse that they say that they have. Because I have known children who have been abused by family members, friends as a child, and may not have even may not have came out until their adult years. Because you have all of those different experiences in life as we grow and we mature in life, and whatever triggers them to give them that ability and even that strength to come out is when they do. Now, don't get me wrong. People come out for different reasons that are beneficial to them. And some people come out because they say, okay, it's time, I can't deal with this anymore, or they want to get it behind them so they can move on with their life and they won't be shackled with that traumatic situation that has happened in their life that has held them down, held them back all throughout their life, where they weren't able to grow and mature.
Mm-hmm. So I guess with all that being said, and that's a mouthful because some people don't realize that all of those things that you're saying really exist. Some people just see it that as a surface level.
Right.
And when you see it as a surface level, you just kind of just say what I said. And I think I said this 3 months ago on the podcast. I need to see it. Mm-hmm. Because my experience and because I experienced this. I didn't do anything. But the thing is, if someone throws it out there, throws it out the window and say something like that, you have to now come out and put that cape on and say, yo, I didn't do this. So about the situation with Cassie, I didn't not say I didn't believe her. I just wanted to see tangible evidence. And I feel bad. Again, I'm not saying that I didn't believe her totally. What I'm saying is there's enough things going around in the world to where people will say something and it didn't really happen. And then I looked at it as like 10 years going past, and then I looked at it as Puffy, SeanCombs, who's a billionaire, mm-hmm. is set to have an album come out, right? Mm-hmm. He had an album come out in September, and then
and here we go.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, not to mention, we getting all of this on the album that he's taunting her. I didn't pick that up, either until later on. So again, it took me some time to actually take that and say, you know what? Let me take a step back now, and now going forward, let me just not say anything until I see what's what. Because there's a lot of stuff going on.
No, it's not. It's not understandable because it's always been allegations of him whooping Kim's ass and breaking her nose. And there's always been allegations of him whooping his first baby mama ass, the Misha girl's ass too.
So you're saying that there's been plenty of allegations that would lead you to believe that this is something that is believable.
Absolutely. This is not the first time that somebody's coming.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying as it relates to understanding what you're saying, it's only in terms of people believe what they see. That's human nature. They believe what they see. However, I don't think that anybody should take it lightly when someone says that they have been abused in whatever capacity. Speaking to what Ozzy referenced regarding the apology, as you were saying, I'm a little bit hard when it comes in regards to that, because the reality is people's always apologetic when they're caught. They're not as apologetic when it's behind closed doors and they're not caught. So the politically correct thing to do is typically what's advised by your attorneys, what's advised by the people, to give you a good look to say, apology would fit, because now you look remorseful. But were you really as remorseful before anybody knew?
Right.
That's the question.
I think he looked uncomfortable doing that. Like he looked like it was painful and like it was just like
But it
I'm about to
doesn't
throw
even-
up in my mouth type of
Right,
thing.
but it doesn't even matter because that's what happens. When you go before the judicial system and you're about to get sentenced or you're on trial, one of the main things, you want to look remorseful so that way that the judicial system, the judge, the jury will have sympathy and leniency when it comes time for sentencing. When you go before a parole board, if you don't show remorse as if you learned your lesson, and those things count against you when you're going up for parole.
Okay, hold on. Because I know we're gonna get off subject here with that. Cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a person that went before the public eye, and that was Tupac Shakur, and told a judge specifically, "Yo, what you got for me is not for me. What God has for me is for me."
Absolutely.
So he wasn't being remorseful, and then he was supposed to be at that particular time for shooting a cop. He got off on probation. So I'm saying there's some. The reason why I'm bringing it up is sometimes it doesn't. It's just how you present yourself, too.
I agree with
You know,
that. And I'm not saying that this is for everybody as it relates to this is what people do when they give apologies. I'm not saying that in totality across the board. I'm only saying it in terms of a lot of times when people are guilty, normally an apology is only after you've been caught. Because after you've been caught, and as OZ said, when the evidence presents itself and it's undeniable, what else can you say? You can't hide behind that anymore.
Right.
I know, and that's why I said he should have fucking came out and said it in the beginning.
But once again, there was no tape. Nobody had any evidence. This was just all hearsay. So it's no reason to come out and say,
Right.
"Oh, well, I just whooped her ass back in 2016 in the hotel." Like, there's no reason to say that.
And unfortunately, people tend to believe, which is not always necessarily true, people tend to believe that if you apologize or if you pay the settlement,
Right.
that it's a sign of guilt.
I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
We had a conversation. Would you have let Casey put his hands on you?
Absolutely not.
What'd you done?
I would have fought him back.
I mean, like how? We could be more dramatic, like you were saying. see, we get on camera and get shot.
No, there's
Shit.
no shot.
What you
on
say
my
about
body.
that man? What you say?
What I'm saying, that for me, I mean, you got to think about it. My career field has been predominantly a male-dominating career field, okay? And we're trained to fight men, women for a living, whether it's personal or professional. I am not going to let anybody put their hands on me, especially if they're smaller than me. No. If they're bigger than me, that doesn't back me down either, because we're trained on with your own personal expertise in combat. However,
So you would have been out in the street fist fighting, Casey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest, I can beat. I'm not saying that. But what I can say is that I hold my own, and not saying that he wouldn't got the best of me, because he is a man and I am a woman. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you better believe every time he looked in the mirror, he's going to know I was there.
Okay. As we're entering halftime and introducing another topic, the hashtag Team Bear. Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
I want to bring that up after, for the third quarter. We talk about that. It's in the realm of what we've been talking about, so it's just something that we're going to get to.
Yeah.
But I want to say, to end this, we got to do better in the beginning of believing people in the beginning. I mean, I'm speaking me too. I'm speaking for me too. We got to do better at that, because it paints a crazy picture afterwards to have to backtrack and say, "Damn, I'm sorry." And I'm a first to admit, I apologize to Cassie. Not saying I didn't believe, just more so saying that I needed more evidence.
Yeah,
I should have kept my mouth
So
closed.
that meant that you didn't believe. Stop putting your hands on your old ladies. Okay, that's the moral of the story.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute, there's women that do that too now.
Oh, wait a minute. What you say?
I said there's women that put their hands on their men
I
too.
know, I know a couple. I'm just saying, stop the domestic violence. Man.
There we go.
You know.
Pay some bills, man. Culture Vision's sponsored this is podcast right at this moment. Put your logo here. Pay us. Pay Ozzy.
Yeah, I got a couple sponsors for next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sponsor.
Yeah, I got a couple sponsors.
Hey, let's get right to it. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up on the screen.
What's that?
It says, "What's with bear trend?" Okay, so bear trend exposes troubling issues. Hint: it's not an actual bear. But okay, so a viral internet trend directed mostly toward women that ask whether you'd rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear triggers the debate and anger. Oz, I asked this question to you on the phone,
All right.
and you was like, "Fuck," like what? If you're with a woman and you guys are having conversation, gets a little heated, okay? You're going to potentially walk out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'll leave.
Like leave.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a probably sit there listen because there's probably some things in that. And then if it gets too heated, I might leave.
Okay, that's what we talking about, bro. We talking about. I'm not talking about a regular argument. I'm talking about something that may escalate.
Okay. And
you're not just gonna sit there in the chair, bro.
Just take the pound.
Right,
Pause.
right.
Okay, so this bear trend or hashtag bear trend, women are saying that men are complete monsters, that they would rather be in the woods with a bear because the bear won't attack them and it won't make them feel vulnerable and all of that. What you guys say to that?
That's the way they feel. That's the way they feel. I mean, there's probably some truth in it. I'm not a woman, so I can't. I don't know. We'll have to ask somebody who's a woman.
Want to ask? Yeah. Be brief and quick because we moving past this. I just wanted to get it out because it was a trending thing that after Cassie put out a statement. Also, Jeannie from Jeezy, people put out a statement supporting her. A lot of people came out supporting her. Before that and, also even after that. But it started to see a trend of that hashtag bear versus man thing. And
I guess my question is, if it's a trend and so many people are saying it, then what does that say about men?
We're monsters? I don't think we're monsters. Speak on it.
I have a different perspective because I'm a realist. So, we have to take things all in consideration. I can understand a woman saying that to a certain extent, but then I can't disagree all the time. Now, I'm not saying that men are not always the aggressor, but guess what? Women can be the aggressor as well. So it's very subjective based off of the situation that you're in, because what I find a lot of times, and this is not in totality, but a lot of times because women are emotional, and men are physical creatures, what happens is women get so upset, and when they want to argue all this time, they think that it's okay to put their hands on the man. And then once they've crossed that line to put their hands on the man, then now if he turn around and knock the heck out of you, now you want to say, oh, it's abuse. But if you don't want to be hit, if you don't want to be hit, then you need not to hit. I'm not saying that there's a justification that it's okay for a man to hit you if you hit them first, but let's be realistic. We know that the Bible tells us to turn the other cheek, but we also are taught in so many different perspectives, even growing up or whatever, you don't hit nobody unless they hit you first. So we can't just say, oh, men are monsters because I'd rather be in the woods with the bear than in the house with the man who's angry, blah, 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 because that applies both ways. And a lot of times, women hit first too, just as well as men.
Slam dunk.
Yeah, but if I'm a betting man, I would bet that more men are aggressive towards women than women are towards men.
I agree with that.
So I mean, yeah, yeah.
I agree, but there's a lot of women
I know,
who are
I know,
aggressive as well.
Absolutely, and I know a couple, but I mean, I know far more men who whoop their ladies' asses versus the 2 women that I know who are actually aggressive towards men. And then I feel like anybody that does it are broken people anyway.
Absolutely.
But that's another conversation. For a different
And
time.
I agree. And I'm not trying to bash women. I'm just trying to come across to understand that, so people can understand that hashtag that people are utilizing, I don't think that it's only applicable to men, because abuse is not gender specific.
What happens when it's 2 women?
Same concept applies.
What would happen if it's 2 men?
Same concept applies.
You're talking about the community.
Yeah. What happens?
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, it's no different.
So the police are called.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a question for you, but
Right.
I want to ask.
Cats in the community be going back and forth anyway. They be
The men-
physical.
the men-
and the women.
Men
Boy,
and men on men.
absolutely, probably more than heterosexual joints that I know. The ones that I know, they be rumbling.
So if that was called, what happens? Oh shoot.
Oh.
Well,
No, you could have left them up there.
oh shit! No, I didn't want to leave him up there. That's so. I didn't want to leave him up there.
He like boys too.
Oh my bad, wrong one.
Slam dunk.
Wow.
He does. That's
Hey, I just want to say right
that's
now.
what they say.
Speculation, right?
No, hey, don't speculate. Hey, don't speculate. In that report that came out on Rolling Stones, and the new charges, there is a guy that is now his sex worker with men. Can't wait.
So this is factual?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's made a couple of the young boys like Justin Bieber uncomfortable a couple times. Yeah.
Hey man, I don't know.
I just hope with the rumors about my man Usher is not.
I don't even know none of the rumors about Usher. What's the rumors about Usher?
Well, we won't talk about it then. We won't, because we don't want to.
Why not?
No.
I guess I'll Google it.
Listen. Let's get to
We got a lot of time left, man.
Let's get to our sports. Okay. Let's get to our sports. Oh, not actually. Huh? No.
I thought you were asking me something.
Yeah. Lost your train of thought.
Yeah, I did. Before we go on to the next one, I'm sorry. If the police were called to a domestic violence call and you show up and it's 2 women, what's gonna have? How does that? Because can you consider it as a domestic violence?
Yeah, domestic means that you are in a relationship with somebody and or you live with that person. That's all domestic means in the legal standpoint, from a legal standpoint. However, you're not going to treat it any different. It's still a domestic situation. So you have domestic that has a meaning on different perspectives. That's one meaning. And then you have a domestic violence situation. So you have domestic and domestic violence. You know, like you travel domestic, it has a different meaning. You travel international, it has a different meaning. So you're not going to treat it any different. You're going to go to the scene accompanied, I hope, because that's normally what they train. You don't go to a domestic violence scene alone. You go with a partner or backup. However, you're going to go there to interview the victim, suspected victim, and find out who the aggressor is. And then you're going to do your investigation by investigating the situation of what both parties say to identify who the aggressor, and if you have to make an arrest, then you make an arrest. But just because it's 2 females, 2 males, a male and a female, there is no difference because, again, like I was saying earlier, domestic violence doesn't have a gender. It's not gender specific.
Gotcha. Hey, we're gonna shout out to prayers to all men and women. Okay, we got to move forward.
Okay, and what other thing? But in the city of Atlanta, the Atlanta Police Department have their own LGBT unit for those type of situations. So if you do call 911 and you are in a relationship with the same gender, you can request that the LGBT unit responds, opposed to a regular unit that's assigned in that area.
Gotcha. So that means RuPaul will show up.
If he's an officer with APD.
Slam dunk!
That's what's up.
Technical file.
That's what's up.
They just feel like they feel like they're more understanding, and they'll have a crazy.
Is the siren different? We're going.
Forgive him.
You sound like Eddie Murphy.
But I will say this to you. On a for real tip. If you go to Atlanta Police Department website and you go and look under the LGBT unit, you will be able to see all of the officers who are assigned to that unit. And they have different rules.
I'm sure they do.
Okay, we gotta move on. We gotta close the time. All right, so look, sports is last. I fucked up.
Yeah.
So let me get this off. So it is it is still in the third quarter. Mr. P, don't kill me. I wanna, because we've been hold on. I said, Mr. P, don't kill me. All right. I'm a little bit behind, about 12 minutes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. P. Got to get this off because this is very important. And we got to make sure we cover sports.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is very important. And I was reading this on somebody's IG page, actually Facebook page. I'm gonna shout her out. Her name's Wednesday Holmes, and she wrote this on her Facebook page. Everybody's trauma yields different results within healing. So, so perspectives about certain situations be different, and 2 things can be true at the same time. Your trauma may yield you to avoid communication, and the next person's trauma may yield them to feel entitled to a conversation. So what happens when these 2 people are in a relationship or friendship with one another? Let's talk about it. And what? I got to ask you, Oz.
I mean, this is something that we always talked about. Everybody deals with trauma at some sort of point in time.
When the trauma is that you're in a relationship with said person, you are the expert communicator, right? And then the other person is it's not they don't know how really to communicate. Like they communicate, but they communicate in a way that sort of frustrates you. And so you're like, yo, I need to get this off. Like, I need to say what I got to say. And it's not coming from a sort of a disrespectful manner. It's like you trying to lead with love, but this person is not being receptive and they don't want to kind of even talk about it at that particular moment. How do you handle that?
I don't know. I mean, does that have anything to do with trauma or just you're just a bad fucking communicator?
It could have something to do with trauma. Let's say.
I mean, it could, but does everything have to do with trauma? Maybe you can just be a bad fucking communicator. How about that? How about you don't know how to communicate because the relationship that you've been in wasn't necessary?
The previous relationship.
The previous relationships you were in, it wasn't really necessary. Or you didn't take it as serious to communicate. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with trauma. It has nothing to do with your father not being there, your mom not being there, or this and that and this and that. Maybe just a bad fucking communicator. Can it just be that?
I don't know. I do know. I
don't know. I think sometimes people put everything in. Well, a person does this. Oh, it's because of trauma. Like that's the kind of time that we're in now. And sometimes you're just not good at certain shit. It has nothing to do with trauma. Now, do I feel like some things do come from trauma? Yeah. You know, maybe you might have commitment issues or other little issues or whatever the case may be, where something happened down the line where, you know, it was traumatic for you. You know what I mean? It changed your whole view of certain things, right? I'm not saying that trauma doesn't have anything to do with bad communication, because it might, but maybe it doesn't. I guess it's just what I'm saying.
Let's say trauma, the bad communication comes from, and let's just say trauma. It comes from you being a communicator, and then in a previous relationship, and you were your mouthpiece was kind of shut down because you were communicating. You felt like you were communicating you felt like you were doing a good job, as the other person felt like you were being over the top.
Okay.
Communication.
So you're going to a new situation thinking the same way that you thought previously? Well, that makes no sense.
No. I'm saying you now. No, and what I'm saying is you communicate. You're not keeping that same theme of what you were doing before. You've now changed.
Oh, you've changed because okay.
Because of that.
So you're communicating a little bit better now versus
and now this person
in the past relationship.
And now this new person is like, they don't want that.
They don't want you to communicate?
They don't want you to be that over communicator or that type of person.
Oh. I mean, I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, everybody's different.
Okay. I know she's here raising her hand.
I didn't know if I could, chime in or whatever. But wouldn't that be basically how we communicate and how we do everything in life is based off of our life experiences?
Right.
So if you had a situation where you were in a relationship where they shut your voice down for whatever reason that was, or vice versa, made you be more of a communicator because that's what that relationship led to, then we mold how we respond based off of our life experiences. So I think that would be subjective to an individual. But in an answer to your first question, what would you do if that person, he walks out or you want to communicate and they don't want to communicate? I think if that person needs that time to regroup, to come back and address the situation so that way you both can sit down as two adults to effectively communicate, then I think we have to respect each other's, respect what each other needs in order to come back and address that issue. So if they need that moment, give them that moment. Long as you come back and address the issue and don't leave it dormant, I think that would be the best way to handle that situation.
Okay.
Walking out, I don't think, is definitely a good way to handle it because you're not addressing the issue. You're just dismissing it.
So question for you, Oz, with that. Do you got like an experience, a time where you had someone that was not communicative and you felt like they should be more?
No.
Like, so so when you had the tough conversations with your mate, they were
tough conversations. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I had a couple of relationships, but none of them were kind of like adult relationships. And maybe I didn't really take the maybe I didn't take the relationship.
Is that a pause?
No. I'm saying I'm serious. Maybe I didn't take the relationship serious, or I didn't feel the need to because I didn't really see it going anywhere on my end. So I didn't really care too much about communication and shit like that.
But don't you think that you have to assess the situation based off the relationship you're in, because every relationship yields different things?
Right, and then people are different. So, I mean, it's kind of difficult to say.
Some people may be an over-communicator.
Right.
Some people may not need all of that communication. Right. For me, I need you to be an over-communicator with me. And I prefer to be the over-communicator because I want to make sure that we have a clear understanding where you can't use the excuse and come back later and say, oh, well, I didn't know because you didn't say that. Oh, yes, I did. So that way, when I address the issue, you can't say, oh, I didn't know. I knew. You acknowledged. Why didn't we do that? Or why didn't we communicate in that way?
Yeah.
'Cause people hide behind that. Oh, I didn't know, or you didn't tell me.
Right. I mean, it's best. You know, I've gotten better, especially with you know, I guess my ex. We've been working on that. You know, as far as communicating. But like everybody else, man.
I think we just have to be real with ourselves and real with the people that we are in a relationship with. And those relationships don't have to be a romantic relationship. So I'm talking relationship could be friends
right,
as well.
Right. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, somebody that you're romantically involved with.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Because sometimes you don't communicate well with me, Rick.
Slam dunk.
As y'all can see, it's Slam Dunk Rick Day. Okay. Tough Cookie Convos podcast. Again, check that out. Young ladies doing her thing. Sponsored by. Brought to you by.
Right.
You a nut, man.
Move on.
Hey, so fourth quarter, we can let you go now. This is sports. So, you know, just so you know.
Oh, I know how to stay in my lane.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry.
just so you know. It's almost like bringing like what is that called, the clubhouse, bringing the girls to the clubhouse.
Right.
When we
I
talk
know my
sports,
lane.
nah, just
I mean, there's girls that know about sports.
be Molly Curran at this
Absolutely,
point.
but I'm not one of them. It's not a dunk on the football field.
Did you?
It's not a dunk on the football field.
Whoa!
for
All right,
sure.
she got to
Okay.
go.
We just don't have the right woman to talk about sports.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
All right.
That's all it is.
Well, we're gonna get into it. So first and foremost, let's see. I cannot see that.
Oh my God.
All right, that is. The Dallas Mavericks have made it to the finals after beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Boston Celtics have swept. I couldn't even say, like, that team didn't even show up. But me and you,
They wasn't supposed to be the Knicks, but go ahead.
me and you, brother. Me and you have had conversations about Jason Tatum.
Yeah. I still feel
And
the same way.
You still feel the same way? I
Yeah.
don't. I think I'm going to wear my Boston Celtics hat because I think they're going to beat them 4-1.
Boston's
They're too good.
They have a more complete team,
Yes.
I would say.
If Tatum just does enough, he doesn't have to be a superstar.
He doesn't really need to do too much. He doesn't have to be a superstar for them to win. Correct. They have so many other pieces.
Right.
Especially if Porzingis come back.
I don't think he needs to in this. I don't think he. I think he messes the flow up.
There was no.
This team is on a roll.
He comes in and adds a lot to them, though.
Listen to what I'm saying. It's almost like when Jim Kelly came back after Frank Wright got them over the hump, got them to the Super Bowl. I felt like that year he messed it up. Like he should have stayed out. I feel like if Frank plays, he has the confidence going in, they pull it off. I think Jim, he should have stayed out. But that's another subject for the other day. But what I'm saying is Boston now has an opportunity to finally get over that hump, especially Tatum. And your thing is if he doesn't show a little bit, they're done. Because you don't think that he has the capability.
I don't feel like he needs to show up. I don't feel like he needs to be great for Boston to win.
So you backtracking because you used to say
no.
that.
I'm saying that was last year, right?
Year before last.
The year before last. Year before last, he sold out.
So
you sat there and watched the game with me. Don't try to act like you don't know. He sold out.
yeah, I was disappointed.
Okay, so I mean,
because I feel like he was the next Kobe. In my eyes, I'm just not nobody else don't have to believe that, but I felt like he.
It was times I felt like the team needed him to take charge, and he chose not to. He chose to defer.
Okay,
to Jaylen Brown.
You know what? I'm kind of confused as why Jaylen Brown would win the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and not Tatum, who averaged a double-double, and like his stat line was better.
I don't know. I guess he had bigger shots, bigger times on him. I don't know. I don't know.
You bet on these games.
Yeah, I bet on these games, but I never bet on Boston. I was betting on the Knicks.
Yeah,
I was betting on Bronson.
You see what that got you?
Yeah, some money. Shit. Bronson was balling.
What do you think about the narrative of the NBA having Kyrie, who was anti-Semitic at one point, and now everybody's on his pause?
Time heals all. I mean, that wasn't really no shit that was, you know.
But there was some mean comments. He should retire.
It was mean comments from people, trolls.
No,
that ain't got nothing else to do.
From sports pundits. Stephen A. had a lot to say.
Stephen A. always got something to say.
Now he backtracking.
Well, he got to sell his brand.
He doing me.
Oh, well, I mean, he has to do what he has to do. You know.
What I'm saying is now that he's in the finals,
mm-hmm.
and he's going against his old team, who he told Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, y'all not better than me. Shut the fuck up.
They're not.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen on the court? Who's checking?
I don't know because I don't know because can't nobody check them one-on-one.
So you think they can put the double team on him?
They're going to have to.
Then that's Luka.
Oh, well, there we go. That's the series.
Luka's gonna start dancing. You know who Luka remind me of?
Oh.
If we doing it in the sense of like music, Mace. That slow, lazy flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess. Yeah.
Like his shit is just smooth, boy. And the one thing that I do trust in Luka is that he gonna take the big shot in the big moment.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm just worried about the other three. I don't even know who the other three players are that are on the starting five from them.
What was that?
For Dallas. Like, I could name all of the Boston starting five. Shit, I mean, even they bench. But
who,
Dallas.
Who else? P.J. Washington start, right?
Ugh. They don't got a big three.
They don't need a big three.
Why not?
Why is everybody set on a big three all of a sudden?
Because Kendrick Lamar said.
No, you don't need a big three. You don't need a big three to win. I mean, you know that. Chicago didn't have a big three.
Yes, it did.
Who? Kukoc?
No. Well, shit. I mean.
Who? Dennis Rodman? Come on, man.
Dennis Rodman.
It's not a big three.
That's the Worm was out there getting 20 rebounds a playoff game.
I mean, he's getting rebounds and playing defense.
And that's how he was getting.
You consider that a big three?
Yeah. In that time. Okay. In this time, this time, no, he would be.
No, Dennis Rodman was dominant
because he played defense and he got in people's heads.
Yeah, but he was more so a role player though.
But that's what they needed. They didn't need him to score.
Yeah, but big threes, you don't really think of role players though.
Okay. Let's go back.
What I mean?
Let's mirror it back a little bit. The big three of Miami. Bosh didn't.
Bosh was a baller in his own right, but he had to play. He had to play the background because only D Wade and he played defense. And LeBron. But he had to though. That wasn't his thing. Is what I'm saying. Dennis Rodman. You didn't expect Dennis Rodman to go out there and get points. You expected him to play his role. His role was he was going to play great defense and he was going to rebound. That's it. Okay. That's what he was going to do.
Okay, so
you didn't expect him to get 30. Like, he wasn't needed to do that. He was needed to go out there and do what he did.
So did the Lakers have a big three with Kobe, Lamar, and what's the tall boy?
No. Ain't no fucking big Kobe. Three. It was just Kobe. You got some. I ain't got nothing. You could say two, maybe. Lamar Odom wasn't the big three. Come on, man.
So what about Boston?
Boston had a big three.
What about big four though? They had Rondo.
I don't consider Rondo. This is what I'm saying. Rondo was he was a role player. He did what he needed to do. Not get turnovers, not turn the ball over, assist, and play defense. That's it. You didn't look for Rondo for points.
Let me ask you this question.
You looked to him to protect the ball and know where everybody was on the floor to get the ball to the right person.
Cool. Let me ask you this question. Going back to Dallas, where do you think it's going to go when Tatum is locked up, Jaylen Brown's locked up, Kyrie's locked up, and Luka's locked up?
Somebody gonna get off. That's where the role players come in at, and that's why I feel like that Boston has a better team because I think the Boston players are outplayed Dallas players. I think. I don't know because Dallas been looking good lately.
Okay, cool. All right. Next question. Do you think so? If Boston loses this, do they choke? Is it a choke thing?
No.
What?
No, it's not a choke thing.
They smoked them in the regular season.
So?
See, you got this fucking thing where you think that those things don't count. Because you said that shit about the Patriots beating the Giants and then the Giants smoked their ass in the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm a Giants fan, so that's
But it's still a choke thing, though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, depending on who you ask, though. I mean, just because the masses feel like, I guess, is it because the masses feel like Boston is going to win? Or
Yeah, I think the masses do.
The masses feel like Boston is going to win? I say let's play the game and let's see.
The masses have them going 4-2. I have them going 4-1.
I think
easy.
I think if Kyrie and Luka is clicking, I don't think they can be beat.
All right, where we watching this series at? Are we doing our old thing we used to go to? We can't go back there, right?
Because
I don't even eat that no more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No.
You don't even drink no more.
No.
We used to
So where we going?
I don't know.
Places that serve water? I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere.
We got 2 minutes. All right, yo, check it out. Let's get to this. The greatest choke, do you think is damn, I can't see that.
Golden State.
Do you think it was Golden State when they lost to the LeBron James team? Do you think it was this guy here? I don't even know who that guy is.
Oh man, you just bringing up people you don't even know who's that.
Or do you think it was this guy here? Hold on.
Chris Webber when he called the timeout?
Yeah.
Why you ain't have him in Michigan? Why you ain't have him in Michigan out there?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I need you to start remembering what's going on, man.
What about the Patriots? What about the Patriots?
I don't know which one was the biggest. You know.
What about the Bills collapse 4 Super Bowls?
I mean, the Bills had a couple of them. They had the
Norwood joint.
They had the one on Norwood, missed the field goal against the Giants, of course. But then they had another big one when they played the Oilers when they actually came back. Yeah, that was a big game too.
When they came back, the choke for the Oilers.
Yeah, choke for the Oilers.
What about the choke for Tennessee when the Music City Miracle?
That wasn't a choke. That wasn't a legit play. I'm not even a Bills fan. That was
you're right. Okay.
That wasn't a.
What about the Knicks this year?
Nobody expected the Knicks to go.
They choked.
They didn't choke. They was hurt.
What about the Knicks when they lost when Reggie Miller had the actual choke?
That was probably a choke.
He was hot as a kid. I think that was hot as fist
that was a choke. Yeah.
I'm going to say that Golden State up 3-1 losing to LeBron, that was the biggest choke of all time.
That was the biggest choke.
I mean, you got 7 games, right? You get the 3.
Right.
You should be able to win 1 game out of those next 3. And you don't? You got smoked 1 game.
Now when you got LeBron, though, LeBron in his prime, and Kyrie. That was that year, right?
Yeah. Kyrie did save.
That's what I'm saying.
Bron had the block. Bron had that block. Yeah. And then right after that play, Kyrie.
Right.
The good thing about LeBron's, and they showed it in the huddle, he said, Kyrie's taking this shot.
These were the cats in their prime. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah. He ain't had the moccasins on then.
No.
He got the moccasins all right. But I think, do we agree? Are we going to agree that is?
What?
That was the biggest choke?
I guess we can agree, even though it's so many sports and
I know we ain't bringing up there was a hockey choke. There was a
I
don't know about that. I can't. There's a soccer choke. I was looking at like all these damn chokes. Pause. But you know,
I guess I had to agree. I mean, even though the Falcons choked in the Super Bowl, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of
maybe they neck and neck because that Atlanta still ain't got over that.
Yeah, they sick. They'll be all right though. They'll be back in about 15 years. Shout out to the Falcons.
Slam dunk.
Technical foul.
They'll be back.
Well, listen, we have come to the end.
Oh, we ain't got no little. We don't have that button, huh?
I think you go ahead.
Oh.
We want to say thank you to our special guest today, Canela.
all this smiling about, man. What y'all got going on?
Jesus, yeah. Look at her.
What y'all got going on after the show? Huh? Do y'all know each other?
You know, you always.
I'm just asking questions. I don't know these questions.
Are you trying to initiate some type of domestic violence situation?
I'm not trying to initiate anything. And I'm all about love. I am the new Dr. Love.
We ain't no damn Dr. Love.
No, I'm Dr. Love.
Dr. Love.
Since when? Since Tuesday?
Today. Since today.
So you're
if anybody
Dr.
need any,
Ruth's protege?
if anybody need any professional advice,
Dr. Ruth's protege over here.
hit me up
You
in
guys
my-
remember Dr. Ruth?
hit me up, man.
No.
On Instagram or Facebook, and I'll give you what you need.
Pause.
You know, I'll give you what you
Double
need.
pause.
Hey, yo.
I'm the love doctor.
Hey, yo, man. We out.